Yeah, look, I think, Kristy, the visit to China is going to be pivotal for how Australians look at their Prime Minister and the way he handles himself globally, because, you know, it's one thing to go and hang out with Joe Biden, who obviously he gets on with, but the Chinese are a whole different ballgame. And I think this trip that he's going to embark on the weekend, given that no Australian Prime Minister's been there for so long now, is really going to either damage Anthony Albanese if it doesn't go well, or he may, in fact, we may be talking next time we talk about, OK, maybe now he gets it. But China is so important to the future of Australia economically.
It is, and of course, after the failure of The Voice, Albo is very keen to have some legacy and invoke the great legacy of Gough Whitlam going to China. And so that's where I think we're going to see his messaging and his speech notes. Of course, from Western Australia, Caroline and I are both from Western Australia. We know the delicate balancing act, and particularly that delicate balancing act that the Labor Party and the left faction-dominated Labor Party in Western Australia too has progressed with over the last decade or so in terms of how we speak about China. We had Mark McGowan going over there suggesting that the federal government should move COAG to Beijing. So that's what elements of the left of the Labor Party believe about China when they're pitching to their own base.
Well, don't get me started. We had Dan Andrews wandering around over in China. Didn't seem to have a clue about what he was doing. Just before we go, I wanted to talk about daycare staff. They're going to be banned from using smartphones at work. This is a blitz by the childcare watchdog to prevent photos leaking online. I mean, mobile phones are a part of everyone's workplace now, aren't they? Caroline?
Look, they are. They absolutely are. And I'm sure that there can be just some protocol around that. Like, they're adults. That they've got a job to do. I'm sure that there can be protocol around that. You often wonder whether banning things actually makes the situation worse. And if you're working in a childcare centre and you are responsible for children, you should have enough wherewithal to be able to know what is and isn't appropriate when it comes to phones and children. This really shouldn't be this difficult.
Kristy, I mean, seriously, we all have phones and we all use them at work.
But it is how parents communicate with the educators at childcare centres. And I'm quite frankly disturbed. If you're worried about childcare educators leaking photos of children, shouldn't we be worried about the people we're employing in these centres in the first place?
Yeah, they ought not to be there. I mean, seriously.
That's very simple.
Good on you. Great to catch up with you both, Kristy McSweeney and Caroline D'Arasso. Thank you very much for joining us. Always a pleasure to catch up.